Ho. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. You were about to do a
Yeah,
Santa noise, and then I like muted myself by accident.
I can hear you now.
How's it going?
All right. Ho, ho, ho. It's Christmas special.
Do you like my sweater?
I'm taken aback by your sweater. That's why I've chosen not to comment because you've completely outshined my lack of effort. I mean, I totally didn't put any effort, and hope that you wouldn't, but you totally did. And now I'm absolutely jealous of your sweater, and I'm just absolutely distracted by it as well. So I don't even know what to say.
You're gonna have to. You have another chance next year.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have 12 months to prepare. I actually saw, talking of jumpers, I saw an absolutely amazing Christmas jumper in the British Library this year.
Mhm.
And it was like the best thing ever, and I should have bought it. And now I'm regretting not buying it. It's very sad. Very sad story.
Well, now you know. Now you know it's a competition for next time.
I know, but I have a really cool Christmas tree decoration, which is a pile of books.
Mhm.
But I can't show it to you because it's in a different room. Actually, where I'm sitting, like the window that I'm facing, is very Christmassy. Whereas behind me, you would never know it's Christmas. So that is also really sad. Oh well, that's my lack of commitment because I've forgotten how to do this. We haven't done this for so long. I will be way more prepared next time.
It has. I don't know when the last time is. Like more than 6 months, or it's about 6 months.
I don't know. I mean, it's been a bit of a weird year.
I've just
Understatement of
realized.
the year, right?
Just realized I have stream beginning soon on the front of our faces. I'm gonna get rid of that.
That would
You
help,
didn't
but
tell me.
maybe we can hide behind it. Oh no, we have
Yeah,
nothing to hide behind now.
it's
We
fine now.
actually have to be. But this is, stream begins soon in front of our faces, kind of summer of the whole year, right? Everything.
Yeah.
We had such good intentions, and then everything went to shit.
Not everything went to shit. You had an exciting year.
Well, I had an exciting week which led to an exciting year. I mean, this year in 1 week, I managed to become a full professor, move house, and have a baby. How about that for overachievement, huh?
You are such an overachiever. Amazing.
Absolutely. I don't like to disappoint, and so I've been suffering ever since.
Wow.
How was your year?
Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, just overwhelmed is the word of the year for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Too many things to do. Like there's a lot of good stuff that I've been involved in, but it's just like the feeling of never catching up, never reaching the end of the to-do list, or it just gets worse. And like I always complain about my flag emails. So flagged emails is kind of like keeps you on the pulse of how bad things are. So like for most of the year for me, it's been pretty bad. Like
I mean, still, my
more
biggest
than 50.
achievement. No, absolutely. That is not acceptable. As you know, this just gives me kind of anxiety on your behalf. But still, my biggest achievement this year is making you delete most of your inbox in
I,
January. Remember, that was
yeah,
delightful.
I did delete a lot of things in January.
It was
I guess
great. We did.
if you go to the new year and there's stuff like from more than 6 months ago, it's probably not gonna happen.
No, just burn it. No
Burn
point.
it. Mm.
And I'm only saying it as well because you have completed all the flagged emails you had from me, so I don't really care about anything else.
Yeah, that's true. They, but you're pretty persistent with like reminders in the night, and like it. I don't know. I feel like I probably I probably can because your reminders are quite kind. I don't know. Are
Go
you
for it.
kind to everybody in reminders?
Um, I think I'm kind but persistent. Like nagging is my superpower,
Okay.
as you know.
Yeah.
I can nag anyone to death. It's great. I mean, I absolutely hate it. So I think most of my work hours I spend chasing people up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really frustrating, but it's okay. It gets things done.
It does. You definitely get things done.
So yeah, it's fine. I'll add something to your inbox before the end of the year. I've got a few ideas, as you know.
Oh my goodness, yeah. We do need some new things to work on though, don't we?
I mean, we have lots of new things to work on, right? We just need to kind of get on the next season of the podcast being one, right? I'm super excited that the next season is coming in January, and it'll be so different, and it'll be just so nice to share different things, different projects with everyone.
Hmm.
But I don't want to give too many spoilers, but I'm really looking forward to it because I missed podcasts, as you know. We say this every season that this is such a fun thing to do, and I did miss talking to you, did miss talking to people, and just miss thinking that the podcast really kind of has been encouraging me to do for past how many years? Goodness, 4 years, 5 years, nearly 5 years.
It will be. We have to do something for 5 year.
What, like a party for two again, like we normally do?
I'm sure we
Infamous
could
parties
we
to which
could
no
invite,
one is invited.
we could invite all of the guests from all of the seasons.
Okay.
That would be a cool party. Imagine all those people together, right?
God, it'll be scary
Yeah.
in the like most exciting possible way. But maybe we can have like a round table or something. Let's think.
Yeah.
It'll be so
We
much
have
fun.
to. Yeah.
Exciting, exciting. Um. So tell me, what's the highlight of the year?
Highlight of the year. I guess one thing was to actually finish our theory paper and get it published. It's a highlight of the year.
And we can now actually talk about paper that has been published as opposed to talking about papers that haven't been published, although we can talk about those as well.
That is what we usually do. But that was very cool to finally finish that because
Yeah.
it was a fun process as well, and like lots of just like writing, although we're like not in the same place, but like in a virtual space, and just like hanging out and writing was fun. And then um, yeah, like I really appreciated all the kind of comments and requests for paper, and um,
Mm.
although I kind of wanted more people to argue with us about it because that's always fun to like. That's,
Everyone is too
I'm kind
scared to
of
argue with us.
I was feeling confrontational. I wanted to. Who's gonna argue about it? Come on.
Well, reviewer too argued
That's
a
true.
lot, as you can remember.
But it's different with like a nameless reviewer too, who maybe you might think that you know who it is, but you don't really.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we know who it is. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
But it'd be more
Um,
fun to have a public argument.
Goodness, imagine. But I think they hated us for our responses. I think that was my favorite part of writing that paper. I loved writing the paper, but writing responses to reviewers was
Yes,
really something
that
else.
was that was almost another paper. The
That
response
was almost another paper.
is great when your response to reviewers becomes the second paper.
I do actually. I think we need like new genre, right? An academic publication. So there is academic paper, which is great. Then there is the kind of response, which is unedited as the authors wrote it originally. Because that's, I think it'll be pretty brutal, but also amazing. And then the genre that we're really missing is the comments with the co-authors as the paper gets written. Things that very often completely irrelevant to the paper, but become absolutely ridiculous. Like that discussion about starter for 10 in the paper that we've just submitted with Jacob and Darren and Kyra and Wes. I cannot believe that I just got bullied by all these American guys who were trying to ban me from using this amazing UK phraseology.
I think that was pretty fun. But
the discussion is generated.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's going to become like the reviewers are definitely going to be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" It depends who you
Or
get.
they'll totally embrace it. They'll be like, "Oh, great! Thanks for using, British phraseology. We are accepting your paper just on the basis of that."
I don't know. We'll see.
I think it's totally viable. Right. You have presents for me because I have presents for you.
Okay, you go. I'm trying to share our link to a group. Go. You go first.
Right. Okay. I'll give you like a nice present first, and then I'll torture you afterwards. Right? Is that okay?
So you'll torture me afterwards.
Yeah, that'll be the second present. The
Cool.
fun part. The first present is, well, hopefully enjoyable. So, as always in this Christmas special, we kind of, for those of you who don't know, we prepare like a piece of reading or something to each other that maybe resonated. And so this year I have prepared a poem for you. I found a poem by Benjamin Zephania, who died just last week, actually. So he was a very famous British Jamaican poet. He was a kind of self-proclaimed anarchist. And in 2003, he was actually offered the appointment of the OB, the Officer of the Order of the British Empire. And he publicly rejected the honor, which of course very few people do, right? And he said that, and I quote, "I get angry when I hear that word empire. It reminds me of slavery. It reminds me of thousands of years of brutality. It reminds me of how my foremothers were raped and my forefathers brutalized." And so, although he was born in the UK, he was born in Birmingham. His parents were of the Windrush generation. So his father was from Barbados and his mother was from Jamaica. And his death was really quite a huge loss to, I think, the poetry community and generally to kind of to arts and literature in the UK. And his poems are written with kind of with the Caribbean accent. So if you look at the words, he actually writes phonetically to give that Caribbean accent, which of course I'm not even going to attempt to do because that'll be just too ridiculous. But the poem that I'm going to read to you is called "Talking Turkeys."
Okay.
Here we go. So "Talking Turkeys" by Benjamin Zephania. Be nice to your turkey this Christmas, because turkeys just want to have fun. Turkeys are cool, turkeys are wicked, and every turkey has a mom. Be nice to your turkeys this Christmas. Don't eat it, keep it alive. It could be your mate, not on your plate. Say, yo, turkey, I'm on your side. I got lots of friends who are turkeys, and all of them fear Christmas time. They want to enjoy it. They say humans destroyed it, and humans are out of their minds. Yeah, I got lots of friends who are turkeys. They all have a right to a life, not to be caged up and genetically made up by any farmer and his wife. Turkeys just want to play reggae. Turkeys just want to hip hop. Can you imagine a nice young turkey saying, I cannot wait for the chop? Turkeys like getting presents. They want to watch Christmas TV. Turkeys have brains and turkeys feel pain in many ways, like you and me. I once knew a turkey called Turkey. He said, Benji, explain to me, please, who put the turkey in Christmas and what happens to Christmas trees? And I said, I'm not too sure, Turkey, but it's nothing to do with Christmas. Humans get greedy and waste more than need be, and businessmen make lots of cash. Be nice to your turkey this Christmas. Invite them indoors, feed some greens, let them eat cake, and let them partake in a plate of organic ground beans. Be nice to your turkey this Christmas and spare them the cut of the knife. Join Turkeys United, and they'll be delighted, and you will meet new friends for life.
Yay.
I think it's just great.
That's great.
It's such a good poem, and the reason I chose it is because we spent quite a lot of time this year talking about kind of solidarity and what it means, right? And of course, this paper that we just submitted indeed talks about it, and it really resonated that, like, how do we make decisions, right, about solidarity and about non-solidarity, be that Turkish or otherwise. And yeah, I think he just kind of summarized so nicely how our decisions are based on no reason whatsoever, right? But kind of consumerism and capitalism.
Mm. Thank you for the poem. That was cool. All right. So I want to read an essay. I suppose it's an essay from the Arrow. Do you remember the Arrow Journal?
Oh yeah, where you published your
Yeah,
vulnerability bit. Yeah.
So I love the Arrow Journal, and they get their issues. And so this is an essay from one of the recent issues. That is by Melanie Ann Jin, and it's called Lazy Days in the Clay Fields. And this is kind of, wanted to read this because, like I said, my word for the year is overwhelmed, and this is about like resting. And so I just want us to think a bit about how we take time to rest and recharge and try to get well in this ridiculous world and like all the pressures that we have. So Lazy Days in the Clay Fields. My root teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, taught me to rest. Once a week at his monasteries, monks and nuns would schedule a lazy day, a day without plans, formal practice, or early rising. On those days, when I stayed at the Plum Village Monastery in southern France, I would wake with the sun, gather breakfast, and allow my body to guide me. Some days I would bump into friends and we would devise adventures on the fly, gathering mulberries with an afternoon cup of tea, dancing in the yurt, listening to the pianist in the upper hamlet. Other days my feet would take me in gentle steps past the lotus pond, wandering through the pine forest. One lazy morning, after thunderstorms had softened the earth, I ventured into the forest and followed the river upstream. This was a path I knew well, from slow walks led by nuns whose tents were nestled in nearby fields. Eventually I reached the borders of a neighboring field. There I knelt down into the puddles, forming pools of soft clay, scooping up handfuls of earth with bare hands, the squish and squelch of wet clay, tingling with the energy of wonder. I was alive and one with the earth. There was no self to cling to, just the rising and falling of one moment into the next. When I returned to the monastery, the earthy grey-brown handfolds became coil pots for wildflowers, pots that would grace the dining hall for all to enjoy. This was creation that arose out of wonder and rest, an offering from the earth that came without expectation of reward. In this safe space where my needs for shelter, sustenance, and care were met each day, I too could let go of a need to produce for a reward. The reward was already given in the wandering, the joy, and the making. A few years later, I traveled to Hue, Vietnam, to pay my respects to my teacher. One day, during working meditation, the nuns assigned me to shovel clay out of the main road. The clay was too soft for motorcycles and bikes to travel on and would be removed via wheelbarrows to an empty field. As we shoveled, the nuns tickled me with their joy and stories. Wheeling one load together, a sister gestured to me to get into the basket. I'll never forget how she wheeled me up the red clay road to the monastery in the wheelbarrow, both of us laughing with pure joy. She said to me, "Balance, not strength, is how we wheel things heavier than our ability to carry." Later, I returned to the empty field to gather handfuls of this clay. I soaked the clay in water, freeing rocks and other debris, and bundled what was left for drying in the sun. When the clay was ready, the sisters and I met in the shade of the ancestor trees, delighting in the smooth, pliable red earth that would become in our hands tiny clay figurines for the tea table. This clay had emerged in its own time. The challenge was to meet each stage of its transformation with presence and care, letting go of my own timelines and desire for production. In Western capitalist society, where a person's value is often measured in hours of work or units of production, the word laziness can have negative connotations. Aware of these associations, Thich Nhat Hanh was once asked if lazy days might instead be called personal practice days. He responded, "The Dalai Lama is called His Holiness. I would like to be called His laziness." That's good, right? Lazy days are thus a gift from Thai. They're an invitation to play outside of the lines of capitalist production, pause the overscheduling of workdays and evenings, and to fully come home to myself, to hold myself as a being worthy of care and love, full stop. On a recent weekend, wandering the golden California hills after the rains, I again found myself boot deep in clay, recalling similar moments in France and Vietnam. This time, the earth was dark charcoal gray, covering a hiking trail lined by ferns and old trees. For a moment, I fought to persist on the path, growing frustrated by feet sinking ever deeper into clay. And then I paused, remembering my teacher and his lesson of laziness. Go slowly, enjoy the reality of the present moment, take your time, play. I knelt to touch the earth, basking in reverence for the abundance of the offering. Over countless lazy days, Thai has taught me to respond to what is, to create beauty from what is offered, be it clay from the earth or challenging situations at work or in the world. The present moment becomes enough. I learn to embrace what's in front of me. If there's dishes in the sink, I roll up my sleeves to wash. If I'm experiencing loneliness, I sink into soft and loving touch, a hot shower, my own presence. If I'm angry, I take a walk, a kickboxing class, or make space for a free ride. We can meet the suffering around us with the same immediacy. If a person is hungry, let us purchase them a hot meal. If someone requires shelter, let us find them a home. If businesses are struggling, let us find ways to support them. Each response, whatever it is, can arise from a deep reservoir of wisdom and ease, an immediate intuition for what must be done. Not until last sentence I messed up. Can't even read. I'm gonna finish that. Ready? Not intellectual striving, but intuitive knowing. There you go.
I love this.
It's a great essay.
His laziness. This is just such a nice essay.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's totally right, and that we don't know how to be lazy anymore, right?
No, it's seen as like a vice, right?
Yeah, it's been conditioned out of us. Because I mean, this year you could say that I guess in traditional academic norms, I've been lazy, right? Like I've produced very little compared to how I would normally produce, and being non-productive so difficult. I think that's been the hardest part of the maternity leave, right? In that, like, I spent, I don't know, first 2 months just kind of thinking, oh, come on, like, Thomas, sleep so I can go check my emails, or like I can go write something, whilst fully realizing that there is no way I'd be able to write anything because I haven't slept for 2 months. But it's that kind of perpetual guilt almost for not producing. It is remarkable. Now I think this year has been great in that I've learned to just step away. But it's you have to learn to do that, and that's crazy, right? Whereas, when we were kids, we could all do that. We could all go and play with clay and just spend time doing I don't know what. Nothing.
Yeah. And I just wonder how much more we can support each other and actually do good work if we find a way to make that time.
So much more, because I don't think that we as academics ever kind of acknowledge that lazy time in quotation marks is thinking time, right? Because when you're rested, when you're not trying to like rush, that's when you actually think. That's when you have conversations. That's when you maybe just sit and ponder. And I think it's kind of relevant to slow research. Remember, I think during COVID we were talking about it. There were a couple of publications about kind of doing things slowly rather than rushing, right? And kind of taking time. And it's the same. But how do we make this happen in neoliberal academia, where like we're always driven at matrices that are grounded in like work hours and I don't know what else.
Yeah, citations,
Citations, yeah,
numbers of
like
papers.
yeah.
teaching
Hours, feedback, scores, right? So every
reviews,
single thing is a number.
impact.
Oh, don't talk to me about impact.
In some ways, it can be a good thing, but it's also been co-opted into something else.
What do we do? How do we resist productivity?
I think it kind of depends on the teams you're in, the managers you have, like even the institution. Although most institutions are pretty much singing from the same hymn sheet, But we do definitely. We're all kind of located in different substructures, right? So some of us may be more supported than others to like not be bound by all those metrics. So I think we need to be sensitive to each other as to what your individual environment looks like, and try to support people who are in a really rough environment where they're like totally at the mercy of all those restraints on their time and work, right? I feel
But
like I feel
yeah.
like I have a lot of freedom and don't feel too tied to metrics, honestly.
No, nor me, but we are kind of far advanced in our careers, right? Whereas I talk to junior colleagues, and even though, so the place where I work, like our school, is actually very nice and caring, but junior colleagues feel that they cannot stop. That
Yeah.
drives me crazy. No matter how many times you say, well, you shouldn't really be working at the weekend, or you have to like go home at 5 o'clock or whatever. It's really difficult because I think the overall view is that you're supposed to be working, no matter what. If you don't like write an email at 11 p.m., then you're not performing, and that's just crazy. I mean, you know that I haven't worked weekends for years now. I cannot remember when I worked last at the weekend. And like literally no one died, including me, because I think I would have if I worked weekends.
Well, probably pretty quickly you just get used to it, and other people also don't have the expectation either. Mhm.
I mean, people have very few expectations these days from me, so it's great. Oh, this is too funny. Anyway, let me ask you a very serious question. Did you hear about the Christmas cake on display in the British Museum?
I knew, and the way you asked it, that you were going to ask me a serious question, that it wasn't a serious question. Okay, no, I didn't hear about that.
It was stolen.
Uh,
Since we're going down very niche British humor.
We are. I have some jokes as well. Do you have more jokes?
Yeah, go on.
You want to hear one?
Go on.
Well, we were talking about like language. I have a pun joke. It's a disaster pun joke.
Okay.
You ready?
No.
So I heard disaster at the LA Zoo today, right? The unfortunately the snake pit was accidentally filled in, and you want to hear what the zookeeper said? They said it's terrible news, terrible news. Now the snakes don't even have a pit to hiss in. That's good, right?
No.
No,
That's pretty bad.
I thought it was great.
So for anyone who's joined the live stream, welcome back. This is what you've missed for the last 6 months.
We're back.
We're back. Boom, boom, boom. Ho, ho, ho. Okay, talking of disaster. So I have the kind of slightly random game for you, right?
Okay.
So The rules are very simple. I'm going to tell you a name of a traditional kind of Victorian Christmas game, right? And all of these Christmas games, in my opinion, could end up in a disaster. And fortunately, many of them have been forgotten by now. And you have to guess what you think the rules of the game are. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Are you ready?
I have to guess what the rules are.
Yeah. Judge
Oh, so
from
you're
the
gonna tell
name
me
of the game.
you're just telling me the name.
Yeah, and you have to tell me what the rules of the game are.
All right.
Okay. Are you ready?
Ready.
The first one is called Hoop and Hide.
Hoop and hide.
Hoop and Hide. Yes. Traditional Christmas game.
Hoop and hide. I mean, I'm assuming it's something to do with like there's like a hoop that everyone's like watching, and then you need to find a way to get yourself through the hoop without anybody seeing you, and then you need to like so then you have to like secretly get through the hoop or something. And then so it's all about distraction. So you have to distract the others away from the hoop so they don't see you going through it. And then if you avoid detection, you can win.
Oh, wow, you created a much better game than what Victorians have created. So basically, Hoop and Hide, it was just like old version of hide and seek, like a
Okay.
variation on hide and seek, but it kind of had quite saucy overtones, as the rules clearly stated that for anyone caught hiding under a bed, the dispute ends in kissing.
Oh, wow.
This is brilliant. Okay, but I like your game.
So don't hide
I
under
have,
don't hide under the bed
unless you
unless
want to
you're
be kissed.
interested in that. Yeah.
I want to see you kind of distracting people whilst you're trying to get through the hoop. That'll be quite entertaining. So next time we meet at the conference, we're gonna play that game.
You just have to create a big diversion and then jump through the hoop really quick.
Or you can make hoop invisible,
Mm.
right? So then nobody knows how to hide, right? Like, you know, I told you about magic show I went to. They were making all sorts of things visible and invisible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, totally magic. Anyway. Okay, the second game is called Questions and Commands. So what do you think was questions and commands?
Questions and commands.
Mm.
I guess it's like truth or dare.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's kind of the same thing, right? Is it it's like an early variation of truth or dare?
Yeah, early variation. And so if you if you didn't answer, say, the question satisfactory, right, or you kind of you refused to play, you either had to pay money or have your face rubbed in soot.
What?
a bit, hardcore.
That is, yeah.
Imagine for Christmas, right? I mean, the Christmas spirit. Oh. Let's rub your face in soot. Okay, and the final game.
So that was like a Christmas game.
Yes, both of them were Christmas games.
So
quite Christmas.
So getting your face rubbed in soot is if you refuse to do the command?
The dare, I guess. Yeah. Okay, now finally, this is by far my favorite Christmas game. It's called Snapdragon. What do you think Snapdragon was like?
Snapdragon.
What are the rules of Snapdragon?
It's got to be like a drinking game or something. And
Go on. I love your imagination in games now.
I don't know, something to do with having like I don't know, whoever like something like a word game around drinking.
Go on.
I don't know. I don't really know what snap means, but it's kind of like to me something like someone with a quick tongue, you know?
Like a dragon with a quick tongue.
Yeah. So it's maybe a Christmas drinking game where it's like a wordplay, and you have to go in a circle and do like word kind of oh, what do you even call that? Um, association, word association is what you call it. You know, and you go around, and then whoever fails to do a word association has to drink.
Well, your
If you
version is
get,
a kind of
and then the dragon, there's like a bowl in the middle, which is like the dragon pot. And then if you fail 3 times, you have to drink the bowl. You're welcome for my extra rule. That's the main thing about
the
Snapdragon.
whole point, right? About
The
Snapchat.
Dragon Bowl, yes. That's the main kind of centerpiece of this game.
Okay, excellent. I really think, if you ever think of a kind of alternative career, you should be writing games.
Okay.
So, in Victorian times, however, Snapdragon was
They have different rules.
did have slightly different rules. Although alcohol was involved, you were right in that.
Okay.
So the host would take a large white dish and fill it with fruit, like such as plums or raisins. Then they pour in enough brandy so that the fruit would float on top. The mixture was then set ablaze. The players crowded around the flaming bowl and attempt to quickly fish out pieces of fruit with their bare hands. So the fruit might be very well on fire as the brave partygoers stuffed it in their mouth.
What?
What could go wrong?
That's great. I think that can definitely be. We can integrate some of the old rules into the current Snapdragon rules.
I feel like we should put like the line of text. Don't try this at home, like they do on TV.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope you try some of this this Christmas, and you're very welcome.
I really want to try that game.
I
And
wanted to try the hoop and hide, your version of hoop and hide, because
okay, we can use a hula hoop, and it's like, yeah, 2 teams, and you have to somehow distract the other team enough that one of your team can go through the hoop with no one seeing, and then they hide, and nobody knows who the person was that went through the hoop. Right?
everybody would know who, because that person wouldn't be in the room. your game is a bit.
No, I know. Maybe the whole team hides, and then it's kind of like they have to investigate who the person was that went through the hoop. It becomes like a whodunit.
Murder mystery.
I don't know. It's a work in progress, Ksenia. Come on.
Okay, fine. So
I'm
next
working on
year,
the rules. I'm gonna figure it out.
I think you can write a methodological paper really based on your hoop and hide game. Oh, too good. Talking of Christmas days and Christmas dinners, why is Elon Musk's Christmas dinner so awkward?
I don't know. Colin.
He can't stop talking about his ex.
That's pretty good.
Ha, 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 ha.
Oh, here, I was wondering, did you hear about the disaster at the department store?
No.
Unfortunately, there are many casualties.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No.
This is so bad.
Just I had to tell you about that disaster.
Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that.
All right. Gonna play a game?
Go on.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're gonna play Would You Rather.
Again, don't make me choose between Microsoft Teams and Zoom again.
You don't like the Would You Rather? Okay, wait a sec.
No, I like it. I just don't want to choose between Microsoft Teams and Zoom.
No, we won't talk about that.
We won't talk about it.
What?
I just love how this is
No,
like
we're-
clearly a traumatic conversation.
no, this is gonna be much more interesting, and we're gonna have to learn about some of your rationale for some of your answers. Okay.
Because I always have rationale for all of my answers, as you know. Go on.
Okay. So, would you rather fight one bear-sized duck or 10 duck-sized bears?
Do I have to choose violence? I'm kind of quite.
Well, if you're gonna be, so you're not like picking a fight, you're being attacked by them, which is worse.
Uh,
And
I'd
why?
fight one bear-sized dog.
Bear-sized.
Because I think the reason I choose one duck is because if the duck was the size of the bear, it would be extremely uncomfortable for it to run. So actually, I can outrun it. You know, like imagine the flipper. Imagine if you're a dog and you have to like run like a bear. You just
Yeah,
fall over.
yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, so that's it. It'll just fight itself.
I like your thinking.
Sure.
That's good. Okay.
I've convinced you, right?
Okay.
Oh my
I have another one.
god.
You ready?
No.
You ready? Okay. Would you rather be without elbows or without knees?
Can I just go home now?
No, tell me. Tell me.
Uh, this is a very difficult
I know, right?
epistemological
It's a hard
question.
one. It's a hard one.
I think elbows, actually.
The elbows. I would pick elbows too. I would pick elbows. Why would you?
Why would you pick up four elbows? Oh, I like you really. Uh, um, well, it's like imagine without knees, because knees we need for bending, right? And I'm really tall, so if I had to bend without knees, my back would be naked,
Yeah, it would be really hard to.
and I won't be able to sit down properly and read books, so it will be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think you'd learn to get by a lot easier without elbows.
It will be hard, nevertheless. Imagine like having sticks for hands.
Hmm.
It would be like a robot.
It would be hard. I'm glad that we have elbows. I'm
This
gonna
year,
appreciate
we're grateful for elbows.
I'm gonna appreciate my elbows more now that we've had this conversation.
More now that we've talked about.
Okay,
Okay.
I have another one.
Mm.
Okay. Would you rather be a giant hamster or a tiny rhino? I'm so sorry. That's a very simple one.
Wow, what have I done to you this year to deserve this? I really don't know. Um, I would love to be a tiny rhino.
Tiny rhino.
I would live in a tiny, tiny rhino cave,
Yeah.
because that's where rhinos live. I would eat tiny rhino grass, and I would just hide from everyone and just live a very happy rhino life.
That sounds very idyllic.
Lazy rhino. It'd be great.
I like it. Okay. Okay. Would you rather talk like Batman or Mickey Mouse for the rest of your life?
Like who?
Batman or Mickey Mouse?
Batman, obviously.
Obviously.
Does
Um,
Mickey Mouse even talk?
Yeah.
Has he ever said anything in the cartoon?
Yeah, I think so.
Like what?
Like
Precisely. Beep, 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 beep.
Okay. I'm not sure exactly. I do remember Mickey Mouse voice. Okay. Um, let me see. Oh, here's a good one. Would you rather never shower again or learn the secrets of the universe?
Oh my god. Secrets of the universe. Forget secrets of the universe. How can this is so gross. Um yeah,
This
I
is
need no
this
shower.
is okay. This is an appropriate one for you. Would you rather spill food on your clothes constantly or trip over the stairs constantly?
I do both constantly, so you know.
So which is worse?
Feeling food is worse because I'm unable to wear white, and that upsets me a lot.
Mm,
Um, but that's my normal routine, you know.
yeah, I guess they're both accidents.
Oh, but you trip on the stairs like better than I do. At least I normally end up with just a lot of laughter, whereas you're like break your legs and everything.
I
Remember a couple of years ago when you fell off stairs, and I really laughed hard, and then I felt like a terrible person because you were like you strained your ankle or something, and I found it absolutely hilarious.
when did I fall?
It was a few years ago, um, and I think Deborah also laughed.
Like I told you about it, or it was it
I
when
think we were talking about it.
okay. Well, there was the one that I really remember is falling in the middle of the road. Sorry, made you choke on your drink, but it was we were just like walking. Maybe this is the one talking about, but me and Deborah were walking across like I think it was Publix. It was like a supermarket road from the car to the shop, and there was like a speed bump, and so I walked across the road and then turned my ankle on the speed bump and like just kind of started to stumble. So I stumbled and like face planted. Like it took me like a couple of movements to like face plant, and then there was like cars that because we were already going for a gap in the traffic, and so I fell right into the traffic, and then like there wasn't any emergency brake, but they all just like slowed down to look at me, and then and then Deborah's like, "Oh, you okay?" And then I tried to get up, and I stumbled again and fell again. Like, so I did a double fall in the road,
Oh, that's brilliant.
and I really hurt my knee, and then was
Oh,
like
sorry.
I was so embarrassed. We just got into the shop, and she was like, just like, "Are you okay?" And there was like random people being like, "Oh, sir, are you okay?" And then I just like wanted to get into the shop.
Oh my goodness.
We got into the shop, and she was still just kind of looking at me, like seeing if it was okay to laugh yet. It's like, you know, she's like, "Are you hurt?" I was like, "I'm okay." And she was like, "Can I laugh?"
Oh my goodness. See, she's a good person. I would just start like laughing straight away. That is too funny.
It was very funny. But
Oh,
yeah, the one I remember and this makes me really evil, but my friend Kevin, when we were kids, fell. Well, we were like, I don't know, 11, 12 or something, and we had like these really heavy backpacks, you know? And so his backpack was this one day just unusually large and jammed with books. And so we were just walking to school, and it was like a pretty busy road, and there was a very large curb. So he like he fell off the side of the curb and turned his ankle, but he fell sideways onto his back. He had the
like a
back
turtle.
he like a turtle, and and there was a group of us, and he was like rolling around like a turtle that was upside down, and everybody was just like laughing and nobody helping.
Oh man.
And he was just like rolling around on the ground with the backpack in the road. That's my other falling in the road story. At least it wasn't me.
Yeah, I'm talking of backpack falls. When I think I must have been like in high school. I don't know, I was 15 or 16, and I remember it was winter, and I had this like really slippery shoes. So you can imagine it's like ice and snow, right? And we were rushing with my classmate. We're like rushing to get to school because we were late. And I kept falling, and he was like, "Come on, we're gonna be late. We're gonna be late." And I kept falling and falling and falling. And then I also fell on my back, and he just grabbed my rucksack and just dragged me like to school. So I was like lying on my rucksack, and he just
Oh,
dragged me. It was quite funny.
that was fun.
Good winter story. Oh, see, that's why maybe we're studying disasters, because we're like just one big disaster
I think that makes sense.
in making. Oh,
Yeah, I feel like a bit of a disaster of late. Just like not managing to do the stuff I'm supposed to do,
2 more weeks to New Year, and then you can start again.
I hope so.
So what's your wish for the new year?
I mean, my wish is to I haven't frozen, I'm thinking.
Frozen. This will be the quote of the year. I haven't frozen, I'm thinking. Jason and Ksenia, 2023.
I don't know. I just want to be less tired. Like,
Ditto. I second that.
yeah, it's like, so at least I sleep pretty well. I know you struggle with that sometimes, or all the time. I sleep pretty well, but I just like whenever I'm awake, I constantly have a sense of foreboding, like because I just know all the things that I haven't managed to do that I said I would do. So it's not even like it's like the things that worry me are more the stuff that I care about. Like there's stuff like that you have to do for work or whatever, like obligations, and it doesn't actually give me much anxiety, right? If I miss some things or like I'm late on those things, but it's the stuff that I care about that like you need to remind me about things. Those are the things that like low key like are on my
Stress, yeah.
mind all the time. Like the feeling of letting people that you care down, So I need to figure out a way to stop that happening. I don't know. I actually got this I know AI is like ruining our lives, but I got this AI powered like calendar thing, and I think it's gonna help me out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, too efficient.
So it like merges all of your calendars, and because I've been just working in a really weird way, where I use Outlook Calendar for trying to schedule myself.
Yeah.
But like if I don't manage to do things, sometimes they get stuck like 2 or 3 weeks ago in my calendar.
Yeah, okay.
And so there's no like Outlook Calendar has no baked in intelligence to like bring the thing that I didn't do into my current week. And so then I'll just have in the back of my mind like a really bad feeling that I forgot something until I go back in my calendar 3 weeks. Be like, "Oh, there's like that 3-hour block that I was supposed to do this thing that I didn't do," right?
Imagine if your Outlook calendar starts nagging you as well. Oh my God, you're cooked.
Yeah. Well, I have this new thing called Notion, so I'm trying it out, but it's pretty cool.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. But I
I
also
hope
wanna
you'll around.
maybe start to write a book about tornado disasters. It's just a draft at the moment.
I'm sorry?
It's just a draft at the moment.
No. This is so bad for me.
right?
This is no.
Did you hear the sound effects?
I did. Unfortunately, I did hear the joke and the sound effects.
Okay,
Um,
just making sure. I'm not writing about tornadoes.
tornado disasters as well. I like the phrase in there. You see,
I know you like that.
I thought that
You thought that was a joke?
Well, I thought you were like kidnapped, and this is the signal that like I have to send help.
Yeah.
Oh, this is too much fun. But I hope next
All
year
right.
will be better.
Hey, Darian.
Hi, Darren. This is and see,
So what about you for next year? What's the
I'm joining you of not being tired,
Mm.
team. No, I want. I hope I can think more next year. I have lost ability to think.
Yeah.
I have, yeah, I have lost my kind of time to think, and I just need to just be better at that. But that is, of course, tiring part is kind of there, right? And just not do too many nonsensical things that don't really matter in the long run.
Mhm.
And also, my other wish is to have a much better Christmas jumper next year because, frankly, I'm just disappointed in myself. I will go and reflect on that and think about what I've done.
Right? I just
This is just
going for life.
incredible. This is ultra amazing. I have no words for your Christmas jumper. So I will work really hard on my Christmas jumper next year. Because I'm sure that after this Christmas special, everybody is gonna come back and listen to our next Christmas special. Also, I want to do a bit more sport. And what athlete do you think is the warmest in winter?
What athlete is the warmest in the winter?
A long jumper.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a little react, okay?
And you will be happy to know that I don't have any more jokes.
Really? That's the end.
That is the end. And I've lost my movement pencil, which is highly unfortunate
I like it.
moment. Right. So until next year.
Until next year.
We'll be back in early January with new season and hopefully lots of live streams and maybe book group and lots of other exciting things.
Yeah, we need to hear from the book group friends. What do we want to read? Oh, reading. Have you done your Goodreads target? Have you met it?
What do you think? What
Yes,
kind of
actually,
question is that?
sorry. I know, like
No.
I have a problem this year.
How many
And
have you done? Okay,
I
I'm
don't know
gonna
if I'm
look at
gonna
my
make it.
stats.
Let me check. I think
So my target was 50 because I knew that like with the baby I can't be over ambitious. So I read 70 out of 50.
Did you just say you can't be over ambitious with 50?
Yeah, like it's a book a week. I read a book a week.
No, but that is over ambitious. What were you gonna target?
Like normally I have 100.
You're insane.
So I read 70 this year. I bet I can finish a couple more before the end of the year.
Okay, wait.
I'm just looking at your challenge. Okay,
Yeah,
so you read 18 out of 30.
yeah,
Come on,
18 out of
comrade.
30 so far. But
You can do this.
like, actually, I have probably 8 in progress. It's just like finishing some of the ones that are in progress.
Right.
I
Okay.
don't know if I can get past 25.
So next year you have to reach your target.
Yeah, like my previous challenges, I think I did, yeah, last 2 years 30, and I met them. 2019 was terrible. 9 out of 50. That was like my moving year, though. That was a
Yeah, I remember that was a bit crazy for you, and then we had the conference and everything. Yeah, whereas I kind of, I still, because of the commute, I read, and of course when Tomo was like a baby, when I sit with him, I would just read, which was great. I told you, right, that we were kind of told, oh, you have to read to the baby from day one, and I think I took it a bit too literally. I think they met, little rhymes or something, and I just read out loud the whole Angela Davis biography to him.
I love it.
So that was literally, he was like a week old. You had to listen.
It's so good.
Poor
That's
child.
that's the
Yeah,
way to do it. That's the way to do it.
that's the way to do it.
Mhm.
All right.
Right.
So, back in January with lots of energy, lots of books,
Mhm.
lots of exciting disaster things to talk about. Thank you, everyone, for being with us and for supporting us. And we really look forward to being back more regularly.
Yay. All right.
Yay.
Good holiday, everyone.
See you later.